Hello there, it's just me, your old buddy Grizzly Jim, and I honestly don't need an excuse to share a passage from one of my favourite books, Deliverance, by James Dickey, came out in 1970, especially when it's about archery, and this book's full of quotable archery things. So it's not the first, it won't be the last, and I enjoy doing it and you can't stop me. So what James Dickey does talk about in this particular book is the importance of the release and how sort of fundamental that is to achieving repeatable archery. So without further ado, let me read from this little passage about the release. He was sideways to me, but if his face came into view,
he had only to raise it a little to be looking directly at me. I knew that my next battle would be with hysteria. The wild hysteria of full draw, of wanting to let the arrow go and get the tension of holding the bow out of my body. In my head, the whole delicate routine of making a good archery shot. All the time aware that the most perfect form goes for nothing if the release doesn't happen right. The fingers of the right hand must be relaxed, and above all, the bow arm must not move.
I loved it with them. But anyway, that passage talks about the importance of the release. And it is possibly one of the more important aspects of your shot. Like in the book, you can set up and everything perfectly, but if you're fouling the release, it's not going to go where you want it to. The bow is designed to do one thing incredibly well, and the less influence we have over that bow, the better it's going to go for you, the straighter the arrows are going to fly. So if you're influencing the string at this end, it's going to influence the arrow greatly down that end. So I get a lot of people asking me about arrow tuning, for example. And they say, oh, Jim, can you help me tune my arrows? And I'm like, yeah, sure thing. Let's have a look at you. And they approach the line, they get the bow out, they get an arrow, and they make a shot, and then they make another shot. And the release is something different every time. And if you've got different results, again, if you've got different results here, you're going to have different results down there. So it's almost impossible to tune an arrow if you haven't got a solid, repeatable release. And it's just a fundamental of archery to have, to whatever you do, whether you're target shooting, whether you're instinctive, whether you're using some other kind of method, you need to build whatever you're doing over a solid foundation of fundamentals. So work on the fundamentals, get some consistency, get the release happening right, and things are going to start falling into place. Now, I'm going to do, sort of out on the range, a series of videos about some sort of fundamentals of well, they're fundamentals of traditional archery, really, but they can be applied to any form of archery. So, I mean, they're going to be geared towards more sort of beginners, but even now, even archers that have been shooting for years and years and years need to brush up on the fundamentals. I mean, that's how you get good. I mean, there was I think it was a basketball player, I think it was Kobe. Somebody wanted to see him practice, and he says, I'll be at the court at 5. The guy gets to the court at 5. Kobe's been there since 3, just working on fundamentals. It's really simple stuff. And that's where kind of good archery comes from, is working on those fundamentals. So, yeah, so it's just a little video really this week, just to remind you to work on them fundamentals. But yeah, look out for our series on sort of building a good archery shot, or something. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but yeah, it's fantastic being back at Merlin. I'm having a heck of a lot of fun. Like, I just did that thing. I did that. That was fun. I enjoyed that. But yeah, so I'm taking a break from messing around with 3Ds. We've done a lot of 3D stuff just lately. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. You take care, shoot straight, and I will see you on the internet. Bye-bye.